Officer mocks black woman's argument in court not knowing she's a high-level NSA operative. What happens when prejudice blinds a man to the truth, and the truth fights back? In the sweltering heat of a Georgia courtroom, Dr. Amara Tate stood alone, her voice steady but her heart pounding. She was no stranger to scrutiny, but today was different. Today, Officer Daniel Hargrove sat smugly on the witness stand, his lips curled into a smirk as he recounted his version of the incident. His words dripped with condescension, painting Amara as an erratic, aggressive woman who dared to question his authority during a routine traffic stop. The gallery murmured, the judge's gavel hovered, and Amara felt the weight of every eye in the room. She wasn't just any woman. Dr. Amara Tate was a high-level NSA operative, a cryptologist who dismantled terrorist networks and safeguarded national secrets. But to Hargrove, she was just another black woman to be put in her place. The stop had been trivial a taillight, he'd claimed, but his tone, his accusations, his hands lingering too long on his holster had turned a routine encounter into a humiliating ordeal. When Amara calmly asserted her rights, Hargrove's ego bristled. He'd arrested her for obstruction, a charge as flimsy as his pride. Now, in court, Hargrove leaned back, arms crossed, as he mocked her defense. She thinks she's some kind of lawyer, he scoffed, drawing chuckles from a few in the gallery. Amara's jaw tightened. She could feel the room tilting against her, the familiar sting of prejudice creeping in. But she wasn't here to lose. The prosecutor, a wiry man with a thin mustache, pressed her. Miss Tate, you claim Officer Hargrove acted improperly. Do you have any evidence beyond your feelings? The word feelings landed like a slap, and the gallery's whispers grew louder. Amara's attorney, a young public defender, fidgeted nervously. But Amara didn't flinch. She reached into her briefcase and pulled out a slim USB drive, her movements deliberate. Your Honor, she began, her voice cutting through the room like a blade. I'd like to submit evidence. The judge, a stern woman with gray streaks in her hair, raised an eyebrow but nodded. Amara plugged the drive into the courtroom system. A grainy dashcam video flickered to life on the screen. The gallery fell silent. The footage showed Hargrove stop in stark clarity, his aggressive stance, his racial slurs hissed under his breath, his refusal to let Amara speak. The crowd gasped. Hargrove's smirk vanished, his face paling as the video played on. Amara's voice, calm and precise, narrated her credentials on the footage, credentials Hargrove had dismissed as fancy talk. The video ended with her arrest, her wrists cuffed as she maintained her dignity. The courtroom erupted. Hargrove stammered, his excuses unraveling. The prosecutor's face reddened, and the judge's gavel slammed for order. Amara stood taller, her gaze locked on Hargrove. I'm not just a lawyer, she said, her voice low but resonant. I'm a senior NSA operative, and I don't take kindly to being underestimated. The revelation hit like a shockwave. Whispers turned to shouts. Hargrove's career, his credibility, crumbled in real time. But Amara wasn't done. She turned to the judge. This isn't just about me. It's about every person who's been judged by their skin before their character. Officer Hargrove's actions reflect a system that assumes guilt based on color. I'm here to challenge that. The gallery was a sea of stunned faces, some ashamed, others inspired. The judge, visibly moved, leaned forward. Dr. Tate, your evidence is compelling. This court will review the charges against you and Officer Hargrove's conduct. As the hearing adjourned, Amara walked out into the humid Georgia air, the weight of the moment lingering. She'd won this battle, but the war against prejudice was far from over. Her phone buzzed a secure NSA line. Tate, her supervisor's voice crackled. You've stirred a hornet's nest. But you did good. She smiled faintly, her resolve hardening. Hargrove's mockery had been his undoing, but Amara's fight was bigger than one man. It was for the countless others silenced by bias, for the justice that too often came too late. She'd exposed one truth today, but tomorrow she'd be back in the shadows, protecting a nation that didn't always protect her. In that courtroom, a single woman's courage had shifted the tide. Amara Tate wasn't just a name. She was a force, a reminder that truth could cut through even the thickest veil of prejudice. And as she drove away, the handwritten note on the judge's bench, justice or prejudice, remained, a quiet challenge to everyone who'd witnessed her stand. Thank you for listening. If you find it interesting, please like and subscribe to follow the next stories.